And our first guest is joining us in studio, Mr. Don Smith. Don is the Vice President of Zerez Holdings. Their stock symbol ZRZH. Don, always great to see you.
Thank you.
Well, now we've been following your company for a couple, 3 months now. It's been very exciting. For those who are seeing you for the very first time, however, why don't you tell us again what you do?
Sure. Zerez Holdings is capitalizing on the global opportunity for using technology in cultivation of both food and cannabis. And our first wholly owned subsidiary, Next Generation Farming, is actually manufacturing and selling these smart automated greenhouse systems that are incredible. They generate many times the yields, utilizing less energy, less water, and substantially less nutrients in an organic environment than traditional methods.
Now, of course, your company is headquartered in the northern part of California. We've seen a lot of agriculture going on in that part of the world. And of course, water has been a key issue in California for the last several years. You're saying that your greenhouse systems can help alleviate some of that demand for water?
Yeah, in fact, we just finished a test of one of the greenhouse facilities that we use for demonstration purposes, and a cannabis plant, for example, takes 30 gallons of water a day if it's grown outside.
No kidding.
We're able to do that in a greenhouse with 70% less water.
Wow.
In a controlled, sustained environment for organic vegetables, you're using a closed loop system with fish, no dirt. In a complete aquaponic system, it's a little bit harder to measure, but the water is just a fraction of typical use.
Well, it would seem that you're really needed at this particular point in time, because you drive, say, from Los Angeles to San Francisco and up on the 5 freeway, you're passing upon all of these plowed over farmlands that used to be productive farmlands. Because there's no water, they can't grow.
That's right. It's very hard for these guys to get water.
Now, I know there's been a tremendous demand for your greenhouse projects. I mean, you've been basically announcing new greenhouse sales time and time again. You've developed your own manufacturing line. Tell us about that.
Well, it was really by necessity. We made the attempt to place multi-million-dollar purchase orders with traditional suppliers out there, of which there are 2 or 3 of these companies. It's ubiquitous components for structures and trusses and fans and so forth. But they simply have not been able to keep up with the demand. And I don't know how much of that is us as a competitive threat versus the just explosive marketplace that's going on. But we made a mission-critical decision about 3 weeks ago to set up our own manufacturing line, partnering with a local Sacramento company. And we today have 2 manufacturing lines up and running, can produce anywhere between 6 and 10 greenhouses a day. That turns into about $500,000 to $1 million of revenue before installation, before accessories, before automation capabilities.
Oh, go ahead.
And we're prepared to scale that up as necessary. In fact, one of our wholesalers that we buy product from yesterday said that they're 10 weeks out on getting certain products, and they've asked us to manufacture it for them. So we certainly could see this becoming another profit center or another wholly owned subsidiary under Zerez.
Well, what's been really impressive watching a company, as I said, we started watching you at the beginning of 4th quarter of 2016. You told us that by Q1 of 2017 you'd be profitable. You are. You told us you'd be selling greenhouse systems on a regular basis. You are. I mean, you're one of these companies that does what you say you're going to do.
That's very important to us. There are a number of these cannabis companies that seem to put lots of fluff press releases out, and at first it was an adjustment for the general marketplace out there. But if we put out a piece of news, it's based upon real facts, real contracts, real revenue. And I'm especially pleased that the customers we've worked with so far have had enough confidence after looking at the money we invested in building our own systems up there for demonstration, that we're actually selling products and getting paid in advance. So we're self-funding, which is just unheard of in this kind of an industry.
Well, we had a conversation before going on the air where you kind of gave me a little piece of news I found pretty exciting. You've basically are working on a name change, a stock symbol change. Why don't you tell us about that?
So the company, the overall core mission of this company has not changed and probably never will. John Taylor and myself and our team really believe in the global food crisis. The world's running out of food, and we have technology that can be deployed anywhere in the world, and we truly believe that we can make a difference in helping feed the planet. Now, that said, the more immediate paycheck, if you will, is this 12 to 18 to 24 month window here where, frankly, the cannabis industry is just in an explosive growth mode. It will never come again.
No.
And so we've engaged our corporate counsel to submit the necessary paperwork to the SEC and FINRA to change the name of the company to Simple Cannabis or Smart Cannabis Incorporated.
Okay.
And that will more accurately reflect the marketplace that we're in, as well as sort of tie in with the trademarks that we recently registered, which was Smart by Design for our greenhouse line of products.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, the cannabis industry right now in 2017 is pretty much where the internet was 22 years ago, in its infancy, but yet poised for tremendous growth. And you're right, you do have anywhere from an 18 to 36 month window to take advantage of that.
We do, and I think by changing the name of the company, even though personally it was a very difficult decision for us to do, because cannabis is not the only thing that we do, but it is hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of business, and federal legalization is inevitable. That will add billions of dollars of tax revenues to the country. It will add tens of thousands of jobs to the country, and it's something that our company needs to take advantage of. And we don't want to be a $10 million company. We want to be #1 in that market space. We want to have #1 brand recognition, name recognition. In order to do that, I believe that it's necessary that we change the name so that we are right in that core group and we can get additional focus and visibility on the company at a time that it needs it.
Well, let's face it, the tipping point was reached last year in the cannabis industry with respect to the United States. It's now legal either medically or recreationally in more states than it's not legal.
That's correct.
And as like you said, I mean, there's been some, I'll call it clever positioning going on in the federal government right now as to whether or not it's going to be made legal federally or whether it's not. But I think you're right, it's inevitable.
Yes, it's inevitable. I mean, that type of revenue stream with only 2 barriers left of interstate transport and banking, you know, I gotta believe that the administration is positioning themselves with the outcry for, you know, for jobs, for infrastructure, for reduction of debt, and you know, here is something that the state's already capitalizing on. It makes total sense to me the federal government would do the same.
Once again, the company is Zerez Holdings. ZRZH is their stock symbol. A tremendous update, Don. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. See you soon.